Anderson.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Get Your Fucking Lessons People podcast. This podcast is neither a roadmap to success, nor is it a comprehensive guide to enlightenment, but it is a mirror held up to the human experience, reflecting back the messy, beautiful truth of what it means to be alive. It's a reminder that no matter what happens in life, there's always lessons for us to gain. So today's lesson is a topic that is affecting everyone. Everyone is experiencing this right now in the world. And that is anxiety. Anxiety in the age of information overload. We are living in what is often called the modern information age, and we're experiencing a constant stream of data. There's this relentless flood of information from news feeds, from social media updates, from emails, from notifications, from our trusty in-home apps, just coming at us from all angles. There is this thing that many of us suffer from, FOMO. Have you heard it? Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. We feel pressure to stay updated with everything, leading to a sense of inadequacy and, yes, anxiety. Because guess what? We cannot keep up with everything that's going on in the world. It is truly a wonder that some of us get anything done at all. If we're trying to keep up with the latest news or the latest celebrity gossip, God forbid, politics, right? So there's this relentless flood of information that leads us all to become very, very anxious. And then there are those of us who fall into the constant comparison trap, where social media platforms amplify the comparison game, right? Leading to self-doubt and negative self-image, and much more than that. Anxiety. Anxiety of information overload has impacted all of our lives. Studies actually show a correlation between excessive information coming in, consuming all this excessive information, with increased levels of stress, increased levels of anxiety, and depression. The use of social media is strongly correlated with the development of anxiety and psychological problems, and we have to get a handle on it. I'm very guilty of it myself. There's some literature that predicts the likelihood of social media induces mental health problems. And I think I may be a patient. But various possible explanations have been implicated that include some negative impact on your self-esteem through these unhealthy comparisons for some of us, especially the younger of us. Social media burnout from trying to constantly keep up, and lack of emotional regulation because of social media preoccupation, and then the development of social anxiety due to that decreased real life interaction, right? So we hide behind our computers all day, and when time comes for real life interaction, well, many of us don't have that skill set. This is a progressively increasing problem because more and more we're getting digitalized, if you will, social life, the desire for social attention. It's just taking a toll on our mental health. And therefore, it warrants more attention to mental health care. Then there's the cognitive overload, where our brains struggle to process and filter the constant influx of information, which leads to fatigue, which leads to confusion, and leads to difficulty focusing. Again, I'm guilty of this. And then there's that cycle of negativity, the negative news stories, and the sensationalization from the media, which leads to both helplessness and hopelessness sometimes, right? Depending, right? For example, the times we're currently experiencing politically. And that's really all I'm going to say about politics. I ain't politicking. But let's talk about how do we manage some of this digital stress, right? Digital detox. For me, I work a 9 to 5, so I'm literally sitting in front of my computer screen for 9, 10 hours a day. And the first thing that I do when I leave my office is I may take a few minutes to sit in my recliner and get a little massage and heat on my back. And then the next thing you know, I have my personal laptop on my lap. And I'm proceeding to either write or check emails or, this whole, again, digital overload. And so I probably spend 14, 16 hours a day in front of my laptop. And then the other issue that I have is my cell phone. I am one of those people that cannot be without my cell phone. It is everything. I have tons and tons of notes. All my music is there, my videos, my pictures, and this is how Apple hooks you, right? I've had an iPhone since iPhone 4, and so constantly, collecting all of these notes and music and videos, it makes it hard for me to let go of my Apple device. Although I know I can put it in the cloud, it is in the cloud, it's backed up in the cloud. But I have a loyalty, a hold, if you will, on my devices. So let's talk about how do we do some digital detox and things like that. We have to just start to kind of embrace the moment that we're living in. Just sit still, and I'm learning to practice this, and I'm getting better. But just sit still and be in the moment. I find myself, even when I'm working, I'm guilty of this, scanning for, on my CNN app, what's the latest news that's going on? What's the breaking news, right? Because every 10 minutes there's breaking news. But I'm really learning to try to detox from my devices, and it's almost impossible because I work in technology. But there are some things that we can do. I actually have a Zen Den meditation room where I have a sauna, and I have a collection of crystals, and it's very it's set up for meditation, if you will. And I go there and I close the door and put my little meditation sign on, and I get some meditation in. Or just, get up in the middle of the day, walk away, especially if you're like me and you work from home in front of your computer all day. Take some breaks, walk away. But the biggest takeaway is, the whole world's anxious right now. We're living in very anxious times. And there is a need to want to know what's going on in the world because, well, you know, things change from day to day, and not always for the better in this current administration. But we have to go within to kind of maintain some balance and just try not to focus on. I don't want to call it outside noise because what I need everyone to know, no matter who you are, no matter if you're the, you know, Hollywood actress living in Hollywood or you're living in a trailer park in Arkansas, you are going to be affected by what's currently happening in the administration in some way, shape, form, or another. But we have to take the time to just breathe and remember and realize we can do something and we can start somewhere. But right now, it starts right here with your mental health and your peace of mind. And however you can get that, little baby steps, little exercises, meditation, read a book, play some music, just to kind of reset your brain for a minute from all the noise, the outside noise, that unfortunately, again, affects us all. So I just really wanted to stop through and take a minute to talk about, make sure we're maintaining our mental health. It's important. So many people are affected, whether you're 7 or 77 because, we have the kids with their own devices these days. And how do we curb all of that and try to get back to some semblance of simplicity? Can we? Are we too far gone? I ask myself that question because, again, I struggle with being without my devices. But there are little things we can do to regain our mental health and kind of, weed out all the distractions that are affecting us in a negative capacity. So again, you know, every little thing, every instance, and every experience, there may be some little nugget that you can pluck away from that. If it's not anything that you can use, maybe it's something, you could share with a family member who's struggling with, how do I get past this information overload? Or you might have a teen in your family who struggles because, maybe they're being bullied online, or so take time, talk to your kids, limit their screen time. I'm not telling you how to parent. I'm telling you how to kind of digitally detox and make sure our kids and our loved ones are okay, and that they're kind of detoxing from all the negative noise that's in the background on a daily basis. So this is a small but important lesson. Some lessons, as I state, are easier to swallow than others, but this was just maybe a public service announcement, if you will. Detox, step away from it. Step away from the white noise. Don't let it put you in a state of hopelessness, because there is always hope. As long as you have air to breathe and air in your lungs to breathe and you're living, there is always hope. So the thing to remember is just breathe, and every little thing is going to be all right. This has been Get Your Fucking Lessons, people. Stay tuned. Come back and we'll talk about more important things that are pressing in our lives, that are stressing in our lives, and how we can help to better cope with them. Thanks, everyone, for dropping in.